Gentleman is recognized.
Thank you. And Mr. Speaker, it's wonderful to hear Republicans and certainly the chairman of our committee finally wanting transparency on this issue. It is time to end this White House cover-up now. Now, we know that Donald Trump has tried everything to kill our Jeffrey Epstein investigation, and he's failed. And now he's panicking. He's about to lose his Epstein vote to force the Department of Justice to release the files.
The White House is crumbling, and on the other side, MAGA Mike Johnson is visibly shaken, furious, and deeply disappointed with his own Senate members. Meanwhile, Democrats are pushing harder than ever, tightening the walls around Trump. And the wild part is, this miracle isn't coming from Chuck Schumer. It's Robert Garcia leading the charge and dragging this entire cover-up into the light. I'll show you that explosive video in a second, but first, just watch how MAGA Mike completely tumbled on live camera, stumbling over his own words as the entire narrative collapses around him.
Any reaction to Leader Thune seeing the bill without adding amendments or changing it?
I'm deeply disappointed in this outcome. I think I've been at the state dinner. I don't know. I was just told that Chuck Schumer rushed it to the floor and put it out there preemptively. It needed amendments. I just spoke to the president about that. We'll see what happens.
So do you think he may veto it? You say you spoke to the president?
I'm not saying that.
Is he supportive of it in its current form?
We both have concerns about it, so we'll see. I was standing there with the Crown Prince. We couldn't call him.
Are you frustrated in the majority leader? Are you upset with the majority leader?
Listen closely, because what you're about to hear is exactly what every normal American is thinking right now. You don't need to be Speaker of the House. You don't need to be a senator. You just need to be a human being with a functioning moral compass. Because why on earth would anyone be angry at someone for voting to release files that expose dangerous, predatory people? And the craziest part? Just a few months ago, every MAGA figure, including Kash Patel and Mike Johnson, were screaming about transparency, swearing they wanted the Epstein files out in the open. But now, they flipped the script. Suddenly, they're hiding, dodging, and acting like releasing the truth is some kind of crime. And just watch what Robert Garcia has to say about it.
Gentleman is recognized.
Thank you. And Mr. Speaker, it's wonderful to hear Republicans and certainly the chairman of our committee finally wanting transparency on this issue. It is time to end this White House cover-up now. Now, we know that Donald Trump has tried everything to kill our Jeffrey Epstein investigation, and he's failed. And now he's panicking. He's about to lose his Epstein vote to force the Department of Justice to release the files. And let's be crystal clear. Trump has the power to release the files today. He does not even need a vote. And he continues to defy the subpoena of the Oversight Committee to release all the files. What is Donald Trump hiding? What is Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, hiding? Why won't they release the Epstein files right now? And he must explain to the public why he moved sex trafficker and monster Ghislaine Maxwell to a cushy, low-security prison after her interview with Trump's personal lawyer. He should declare, and every Republican should say, that she does not deserve a pardon or commutation.
The gentleman's time has expired.
30 more seconds.
I grant him 20 more seconds.
We don't care how much money you have, what party you're in, how powerful you are. We should get justice for the survivors of Jeffrey Epstein. And our work on the committee is not over. Next up are the bank and financial records to follow and expose Epstein's network. Today, there should be a unanimous vote on releasing the files, and we will get justice. And with that, I yield back.
And now just watch this. Another perspective on how insane this whole situation really is, broken down by none other than Tucker Carlson himself.
But how can you say that thousands of children were raped, but I'm not going to find out who raped them?
Yeah.
How can you say that?
I agree completely.
They said that. By the way, when Pam Bondi went on television and said, I have a videotape of kids getting abused, I followed this case closely, and I know a lot of the people involved, as I've told you.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea. I didn't know that. Really? Thousands of children got raped?
Yeah.
Who raped them? Where are the rapists? Like, why aren't they in jail? What? This is the Department of Justice.
Yes. Yes.
That is so crazy. This is honestly one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my entire life. And I just think it's very dangerous to play around with this stuff. Like, very dangerous.
Well,
I don't want a revolution, but if you wanted a revolution, this is how you would act.
Yes, yeah.
And you remember Representative Massey, right? Yeah, the same guy Trump mocked in front of millions. Well, he's done playing nice. Now he's showing exactly what he's capable of and where he really stands when it comes to exposing the truth. And in his latest speech, he sent a crystal clear warning. Anyone who stands in the way of transparency is no longer acceptable, not to him and not to the American people.
Decades. That is wrong. Do not let the Senate muck this bill up. And if you're a party to that in the Senate, you are part of this cover-up that we are trying to expose. I am sorry if one of your billionaire donors is going to get embarrassed because he went to Rape Island. That is what they have coming. In fact, they need to be on the other side of bars, a lot of them. Some of them will be embarrassed, but some of them need to go to prison, and the survivors know that. So how will we know if this bill has been successful? We will know when there are men, rich men, in handcuffs being perp-walked to the jail. And until then, this is still a cover-up.
Massey finally said the part everyone else only whispers. If billionaires treated Epstein's island like their own private playground, then embarrassment isn't the punishment. Prison is. No more protection, no more Senate slow walking, no more hiding behind donors. Truth over influence, justice over power. What MGT said next truly left everyone speechless.
Finally, putting these victims and these survivors of Jeffrey Epstein and the cabal of rich, powerful elites that expands not just here in the United States of America, but to other countries as well. We're putting them last. And that is exactly what Americans want. You see, for far too long, Americans have been put last. And they're sick of it. They're sick and tired of it. And this is why they don't trust Congress. This is why they don't trust the government. And here's the problem. All of these women who have suffered in shame for years and years and years, women who were terrified, women who were intimidated, women who were threatened, just like Virginia Giuffre. And now she's dead. And these women should have never faced that, for this information to come out. And we, especially the 4 Republican members of the House of Representatives, we should have never faced intimidation and threats for us to get this vote to come to the floor. Never forget, there were 4. Thomas Massey, myself, Nancy Mace, and Lauren Boebert. We had to sign a discharge petition, and we had to fight through intimidation, and we had to endure it for months to push that discharge petition finally to 218 to get this vote to come out. This is what the American people are sick of, and rightfully so.
And as of right now, Trump's approval rating has collapsed to the lowest point of his entire political life. I mean, rock bottom, free fall, no parachute territory. But here's the part nobody expected. The DOJ is sinking with him. Their credibility chart just hit a historic low, the kind of drop they've never seen in their entire existence. And the louder the public gets, the more desperate Trump and his inner circle look, scrambling, panicking, trying to stop a tidal wave that's already crashing straight at them.
A new Reuters poll shows President Trump's approval rating falling to its lowest level. This is apparently because of prices and the Epstein files. His approval rating sits at 39%. That is down 9 points from when he took office.
And with all this chaos exploding at once, just look at Fox News, crumbling in front of our eyes, panicking, warning that Democrats will regret what they voted for. Think about how insane that sounds. Almost every member of Congress, both parties, has now chosen to see who the hell is on those lists. And that's exactly what everyone in this country wants. To be honest with you, I don't care who's on it. I don't care what party, what billionaire, what celebrity. I want the names. Every last one of them.
So this Epstein thing. Hakeem's people asked Epstein to come to dinner and meet him after he was convicted for fooling around with a 14-year-old.
Yeah, how about that? I mean, this is why the Democrats, they're going to regret
I think, ever playing around with this, and they're going to regret embracing transparency, though I'm glad they did. They thought, I think, that the files would never become public. They thought this was all a game. Well, guess what? They're going to get their wish. They are going to become public. The president's going to sign the bill. The president's been right all along on this. He said months ago, make public everything you can that's not classified. Now Congress is finally going to do it. And I think we're going to learn a lot, Jesse. A lot of people suddenly are going to get real reticent to talk about Epstein, whether it's Hakeem Jeffries, whether it's Larry Summers, that Harvard president you mentioned a second ago who worked for Barack Obama. We're going to find out a lot about a lot of folks because you know what else is in this bill that just passed tonight? It's got to be a searchable database. So any American can go in and read the files for themselves. That's how it should be. I'm looking forward to seeing what's there.
Well, so are my producers, because it's a lot easier when the FBI doesn't misspell the name you're trying to look for. Hopefully we have all the names spelled correctly.
Great. That's exactly what we want. But here's the part nobody can ignore. Why release it now, after months of calling it a hoax and screaming that there was nothing to see? Why wait until the pressure explodes, until senators start breaking ranks, until the entire country is demanding answers? That's the fear. Because when people suddenly flip like this, it usually means one thing. Something inside those files is bad enough that they couldn't bury it anymore. So yes, let them release it. But the timing alone tells you the truth they've been trying to hide.
Mr. President, why wait for Congress to release the Epstein files? Why not just do it now?
You know, it's not the question that I mind, it's your attitude. I think you are a terrible reporter. It's the way you ask these questions. You start off with a man who's highly respected, asking him a horrible, insubordinate, and just a terrible question. And you could even ask that same exact question nicely. You're all psyched up. Somebody psychs you over at ABC. They're going to psych it. You're a terrible person and a terrible reporter. As far as the Epstein files is, I have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. I threw him out of my club many years ago because I thought he was a sick pervert. And I guess I turned out to be right. But you know who does have? Bill Clinton, Larry Summers, who ran Harvard, was with him every single night, every single weekend. They lived together. They went to his island many times. I never did. Andrew Weissman, I hear. All these guys were friends of his. You don't even talk about those people. You just keep going on the Epstein files. And what the Epstein is a Democrat hoax to try and get me not to be able to talk about the $21 trillion that I talked about today. It's a hoax. Now, I just got a little report, and I put it in my pocket, of all the money that he's given to Democrats. He gave me none, zero, no money to me. But he gave money to Democrats. And people are wise to your hoax. And ABC's, your company, your crappy company, is one of the perpetrators. And I'll tell you something. I think the license should be taken away from ABC because your news is so fake and it's so wrong. And we have a great commissioner, the chairman, who should look at that. Because I think when you come in and when you're 97% negative to Trump, and then Trump wins the election in a landslide, that means obviously your news is not credible, and you're not credible as a reporter. So I've answered your question. You should go and look at the Democrats who received money from Epstein, who spent their time. Larry Summers was with him all the time. That creep